Oh my god, hi. I said I was gonna take a break and I fucking lied. Who here is surprised? Raise your hand if you're surprised. Because I'm not. Oh my god. Same day, different chit chat. I swear to god. No! You missed us. I did. I'm parasocial like that. You can only lie to yourself at this point? I know. I know. Oh my god, hi Gat. It's been a while. I'm drinking a milkshake? Why are you not drinking alcohol instead? That sounds like a better idea in my opinion. I got some new weed. My fucking god. She admitting that she actually likes us? No. No! New weed? How high is she? I'm fine. I have been fine. I am thirsty though, and very hungry. I don't like you, chat. Fuck each and every one of you. Individually. I'm going to proceed to... Okay. Thank you. But do you like me? Only sometimes. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Whoa. What the fuck? Too many people scare me. Why is chat going so fast? What the fuck is going on? I'm trying to, like, start saying hi to everyone, but every time I, like, click off, the fucking chat box just disappears. Let me see. Okay. I need to focus. I am very unfocused today. Let's see. Hi, Nocturne, Clay, Cat, Copter, Ryzen, Kapu, Lufu, Luzus, Radlistique, Dr. Leon. Did I say Ryzen already? Yes, I did. Pepe, Gat, hello. Demon. Lone Star, hello. And... Jesus Christ. Why there's so many of you? Oh my god. Did you guys miss me? Jesus Christ in chat, no. Christ left the chat a long time ago, chat. Very long time ago. I got my PC. I got it. I got it. Who are you again? Your friendly neighborhood dog. Wait, I got the fucking PC finally. I just need to, like, dust it, because it's full of moth dust. Seeing as Juniper was the previous owner of said PC. What? Yeah, eyelashes. We also got some of her eyelashes. Absolutely priceless. I'm gonna fucking put that eyelash on eBay. I bet there would be at least one fucking person who would buy that. Don't ask me why. I am going to be able to fucking play games without worrying about not being able to use my model, so that's great! It's great, chat! I tried drawing again after a little bit, and I'm not sure if I like this new style. I've been drawing the same way for like 5 years, probably like 7 years. So using different methods is very foreign to me. I look at me pretending like I'm some sort of fucking artist. Ah! Yeah, right. Thank you for the 100 bits. Mail the eyelash to Milia? What the what the fuck? Oh my god. Dual PC stream? I don't know, man. July 1st? Bro, July 31st. I'm gonna morph. I'm gonna morph into a disgusting creature. It'll be very jarring because I'm used to the model being so, like, bright-eyed and full of life. This one is gonna this one looks like a bitch. This one looks like a bitch. Which is more akin to what I, like, my facial expression is IRL. I get asked so many times, are you okay? Are you high? Are you sick? Are you angry? It's like, no! It's just my face. I don't know what you want me to say. I can't be the only one who gets that shit. Will Marshy morph? No, he's gonna stay the same. He will remain rotund and squishy and bald. New painting and stocking in July. No! I'm losing my fucking shit. Oh my god, I've been waiting forever! Bitch! I'm gonna be all up in that fucking thing. I'm guessing that they're gonna release a Japanese VA first, and then the English? I don't really watch anime when it's, like, freshly come out. It usually takes me a couple months to, like, get to something. I don't know why I'm so reluctant. But hot right out the oven. Yummers. You guys saw my tweet yesterday, right? I was watching The Boys, and just when I thought that it couldn't fucking get any weirder, my god, I was not prepared for how fucking weird that show is. I really wasn't. Every time I boot up the show, it's like, this is insane. Jesus. I was mildly traumatized. I didn't really know what to do with myself. I just kept looking at the TV with contempt. That they would subject me to that fucking shit. I keep forgetting that Yummers is from fucking... From The Boys. I have now seen every meme scene, by the way. Every scene that has been taken as a meme, I have watched. The milk one is just like... What the fuck, man? This show is showing me fetishes that I didn't think possible. Like, what do you mean some fucking chick fingered some guy's gills? What the fuck, dude? How high were the creators of this fucking show when they made it? When they were, like, pitching these ideas? Like, am I fucking crazy? What is this? No sober person thinks about things like that. No. Just no. Like, I feel like I'm watching that shit on psychedelics sometimes, because it's insane. It's fucking insane. I found out the whole milk thing was Homelander's actor's idea. The writers and directors didn't think of it. What the fuck? Hey, what if we give him, like a breast milk fetish? Then what? Give him fucking mommy issues. Let's give him mommy issues for literally no reason. Because he doesn't have a mother figure. Fuck, man. That show sure is something. And I did not in my fucking life think that I would see a character that is named Mother's Milk. Between the breast milk fetish shit and the name Mother's Milk, I think someone in the team might have a little bit of an obsession with breast milk. I don't know. I'm just saying. You never know, chat. Just look at fucking Dan Schneider with his foot fetish. Looking back at that shit, oh my god. It was really bad. How was that allowed on TV? Like, what? An M-preg fetish? What? Fate seem almost tame at this point. Yeah, with the level of shit that I see from, like, the internet. In the original comic, Mother's Milk was also a super, but a side effect is he can't produce a protein found in breast milk, so he would always need to drink breast milk, hence his name. Oh my fucking god. What? Dude, what the fuck? Hi, BKI. Thank you for the 5 months. Oh my god. I'm telling you, someone must have some sort of fetish because this is not normal behavior. This is not normal behavior, chat. This is... No. Just no. I'm just not gonna watch that show. I'm good. I can't blame you. The writers barely, what? What's the fuck is a meme? Barely disguised fetish? Yep. The writer's barely disguised fetish. Yep. I feel like that perfectly encapsulates the new model, by the way. In my humble opinion. I went a little too bugfucker with that one. It's in plain view, I know. It could be worse. Ever seen the anime Chained Soldiers? No. I didn't know that was a thing until today, actually. The writers explicitly advertised fetish. Me? Thank you, Blizzard. I like you. EDF. What does that mean? What does that mean? They censored the name? What do you mean? We are only at 19 fucking minutes. It feels like I've been here for like 2 hours. God damn. Gamer, you shoot giant alien bugs. You wouldn't shoot a bug. What do you mean you would shoot a bug? You wouldn't download a beetle? I absolutely would. Wow, you're fucked up. You're fucked up. You guys are fucked up. But Helldivers 2? I have never played Helldivers in my fucking life. Bugtuber mod when? Good question. I'm normal? No, you're not. You watch me and Juniper. Okay? You are beyond fucking normal. This is not normal activity we're engaging in right now. I am an anime girl with 4 arms in your screen. I do not show my face because I am self-conscious. We don't see face to face. This is a simulation, chat. It is a simulation. Wake up! Wake up! I don't know if it's just me, but does the Throne Fund look like it's not set to crowdfunding? Oh, fuck. Hold on, let me check. Hold on. Thank you for catching that. I half-assed it when I was at work. How do I have to log in again? For fuck's sakes! Let me see. This is going to take a while. Hi, Giselle. And Coco. Shut the fuck up. Allow crowd. Oh my fucking god. I didn't allow crowdfunding. Wow. Wow. I am so fucking smart. Okay, now it's crowdfunded. There we go. Jesus Christ. I'm so fucking stupid. SMRT. I am so smart. So smart. The whole hog. Yep. Yep. It's not as expensive as my previous model. And I don't have to deal with, like, fucking... What's it called? Conversion rate bullshit. That was a problem. Very bad fucking problem when I was dealing with my first model. It was like $3,500 fucking dollars. That was my own fault, though. I did not need that many toggles, but I did it anyways. And how many do I use? None of them. Never do this. Never do this. If you are just starting to VTube, never fucking do this. Never do it. I am an irresponsible twat who has poor money managing skills. Never VTuber. Yeah, never VTube. Don't even try it. Just pretend like it doesn't exist. The only ones that can do that are those that make their own models. I know! I wish I could make my own models, but I can't, because I lack the talent and finesse to pull it off. And so I sit here on my ass, trying to draw. It's too late! Dude, I've tried to draw so many times, and every time I do, it's like, I don't like this. I don't fucking like it. So I just end up leaving it incomplete. Never to touch it ever again. I am an artist. Totally. It smells like food. Reagan called me a fucking dung beetle? You're a dung beetle! Fuck you! He probably can't hear me. Totally don't check your Steam inbox. There's totally not a... My fucking god. Stop it. That's so sweet of you. Thank you. Oh my god. You guys are so sweet. God, I'm fucking hungry. Like, actually so hungry. I think I'll finish this doodle. I think I'll finish it. It looks a little weird, but I think I can manage. Egyptian themed dung beetle bugtuber would be pretty awesome. That would be pretty cool. What do you do for a living? I roll shit. But you don't look like someone who would roll shit. Well, I don't know what to tell you. I think the only problem with that would be, like, imagine the plethora of jokes that your chat would fucking throw at you constantly. About you being a fucking poop bug. You know? I think that would be the main issue. My throat has been fucked ever since I got COVID. Oh my god. Time to play What's That Smell? You're you're disgusting! Chat just turns into monkeys flinging feces. You would need a fan asset? For what? COVID fucked me too. I never fully recovered from my taste or smell. Damn. I didn't have mine that bad, but... Our cat Eris, she has like a fucking smoker's lung now. After she got COVID. She sounds so fucking stupid when she's sleeping. She's like... But like higher pitched. I get sternum pain still from COVID. Dude, that is fucked up. That's really fucked up. We would become the poop joke chat. Exactly. I wouldn't want to deal with that personally. VTuber idea I heard that's a tongue parasite bug. Fish in a onesie. Oh yeah, a fucking, like you mean like a tongue-eating louse? That is a VTuber concept that would be really fucking cool. Tongue-eating louse waifu. If I had the skill and or talent, I would draw it. But I do not possess either of those things. Parasocial tick VTuber, clingy with her chat. Oh my god. Tongue-eating louse husbando, maybe? I don't know, I prefer female characters, honestly. I am very, like, biased towards female characters. At least fictional ones. Not like anime. I was in the very first wave of infection and it fucking ruined my entire digestive system. Holy fuck, dude. That's awful. Name every fictional woman. Juniper Actius. There. That's all of them. You're welcome. I thought long and hard about that one. That's a bug, not a woman. That's a woman. A woman. You get it? Do you get it? I know the joke is stupid, but you need to validate me right now. Validate me and tell me that my joke is fucking funny or I will break down and cry. Get off the stream. I'm kidding myself. I'm a womanizer. Fuck off. Laughs awkwardly. Clizzard, stop fucking role-playing in chat. I'll kill you. I'll fucking kill you. Throws tomato at my computer. Joke's on you. You're the one who's gonna have to clean that later. No ERPing. I've seen some wild fucking shit. Like in other people's communities. God damn. Some people are fucked. Hi, Ice. Hi, Chitin. How'd you make your fucking text red? What the fuck? That's weird. That must be a display issue or some shit. Am I the only one who can see that? Oh! It's because you used, what's that font? What is that font? Italic? I'm stupid. Thonks. Fuck! What is it called? This is gonna fucking bother me. Dies inside. Points and laughs. Why? How are you guys making your fucking... What is going on? Me? Oh! I was asking the question before you fucking gave me an answer. Oh my god, I did it. We said it multiple times. Listen! I don't have an excuse, actually. I don't have an excuse for that one. That's just me. That's just me being stupid. Am I doing it? Yeah, you're doing it. Welcome to the RP world. I'm gonna kill myself. I love water. Bottled water. Do you like microplastics? I bet you do. I sure do. They're so yummy. Has Second Life flashbacks? What does that mean? And she's not even high? Yeah. Hi, Shari. Oh, look at all those bugs. That's so cute. Buggers. My firstborn is gonna be a microplastic. So it'll be like microscopic, is what you're saying? I prefer microfossils. Well, I prefer micropenis. There, I said it. TMI. Wait, what? What? How many micro penis havers in chat? I'm sorry. I had to make the fucking joke. I'm sorry. We have a chance? No, you don't. Are we just roasting Reagan? No, this has nothing to do with him. Guys, stop thinking about my boyfriend. Stop that. He's off somewhere. Never to be seen again. I actually don't fucking hear a word. It's probably because I have a fucking AC right next to me. I'm thinking about him right now. Well, you should fucking stop it because that is gay. I don't give a fuck if it's Pride Month. That's gay! And that is not accepted in this fucking channel! Get away! I'm kidding. I would be lying to myself. I am the gayest motherfucker in this stream. Period. In the chat even. Fucked up day. Really? Right in Pride Month. Reagan is in Spider-Girls? That's fair. You have been obsessed with Spider-Girls. Do you have, like, any pictures that you could share? Asking for a friend. No. Okay. Alright. Fine then. Keep your secrets. You know about the Amelia Alex fan art com? What do you mean? Is she drawing it or is someone else? Also, thank you for the 100 bits. There isn't enough. Well, keep fucking downloading. Don't give up now. Someone else? Nice. Is it the beetle or the moth? They are holding hands. Scandalous. I keep checking and you're nothing. Okay, Clay, okay. Take your meds. Take your meds, Clay. Go back to sleep. Go to bed, Grandpa. Thank you for the one bruh. I hate meds. I can't relate. They make me, they turn me into a stable person. Well, stable-er, but you get it. Spider isn't popular enough. I think it's popular enough. I think it's more popular than Moth Girls, in my opinion. And that's because I'm fucking terminally online. I'd punch a spider. Are you an arachnophobe? I'm not. I grabbed those motherfuckers and I put them outside. I have a picture of my hand with a big fucking spider. Spiders are cute. I primarily leave them alive, you know, because they're the ones that kill fucking roaches and other pests. Especially down in Puerto Rico, I would leave those motherfuckers alive. Even if they were, like, super big. They are great at killing roaches, and I fucking hate roaches. Every summer in my grandma's house, we would get, like, fucking so many of them. Because of how hot it was, and it was fucking miserable. You'd turn around and there would be a roach right there staring at you. There was no escape. No escape. And it was a new fucking house, too. New house, super clean. Don't know what the fuck was happening. How they were getting in? Fucking beyond me. That was very fun. Fun times. And then there was the one time that I got a fucking tick infestation. Also fun. I don't even know. I don't even remember if they fucking fumigated or not. But yeah. That was so fun. Ticks everywhere. Your fucking clothes. On your titties. It was not good times, chat. Not good times. I have gone through some shit. But it could be worse. It could always be worse. Remember that. Bad times, in fact. Exactly. Rachnera, is that her name? Is that what her name is? That is one hell of a fucking name. I can't pronounce that. Things could be worse. You could be short. Oh, wait. Oh my god. It's another fucking short joke. I remember when Nez had a recipe, has his PFP. I do too! That was a while ago. Hi, Sticks! I love you! I love you! Hold on, let me send a message. Hi, Siffles. Hello. I'm pretty sure there are more moths and spiders in the VTuber realm. I mean, I could probably go out of my way to count. I'm Brazilian and I would like to know your opinion about Brazil. Brasil número uno! Oh! Viva Messi! That's all I think, personally. Juniper's kind of a trendsetter, maybe? Maybe, I think so. It's not Spanish, though? I know! I know. I can't speak Brazilian, okay? There it is. Oh my god. The bright lights of the VTuber realm are attracting all the moths. I think so. Ooh, that's a good image. Thank you for sharing, Clay. That's very, delectable. Brazil mention. Oh my god. Oh. Dude, I keep getting fucking compliments about my hair. I dyed it myself, and that was a fucking catastrophe. Like, after getting my hair butchered, like I'm some sort of fucking dog, I went home, and I cried for, like, 3 hours. I was scratching the fuck out. So I was like, you know what? I haven't dyed my hair in a fucking while. So, in order to cope with this fucking loss of my beautiful, long, brown hair, I'm gonna fucking dye it. I'm just gonna dye it. Why not? Because it's so pretty, it's not butchered. I don't like my bangs, bro. I don't like them. I do not like them, chat. Ugh. I dyed my hair like a fucking really dark red. I really like it. People seem to like it too. But, I don't like the bangs. I look at them and I cry internally. What's the point of being a spider VTuber if you just show the upper part of the model 90% of the time? I mean, that can be said of literally every single VTuber. You only show the fucking upper part of your model 90% of the time. You never really show the full model. And it's a perspective thing, I think. You cannot be a spider centaur. I know, I'll like it a lot more when it grows out a bit. I love them. I love you! But the appeal of a spider monster girl is the legs? I am really not into that. Like, I am in the minority, I think, that does not like, spider bodies. I'm just not into it. I don't like it. On, like, an anime girl? No. Like, how do you even... how do you fuck that? First and foremost, how? How would you? Genuine question. Disagree like spidery girls more than just spider tar? Okay, that's fair. With lube, creativity, life finds a way, courage. Fucking god. Freaky bug style. I'm going sicko mode. A mind that is stretched to a new idea never returns to its original dimensions. I agree. They have a pouch under so you do mission here. Oh my god. I keep forgetting you're a fucking entomologist. Bro. Oh my god. That's fucking crazy. So like a fucking cloaca? Or like what? A pouch, so they're kangaroos. Probably. Beetle junk is just... Beetles have genitals? What? We talking about cause chat... I'm dying. Freak? Listen. You don't know? No, I don't, chat. You didn't know that? No, I didn't know! Oh my god. I'm gonna have to look it up. They have fucking dicks? What? No way! I thought they had, like, cloacas and shit, not full-on caca. Jesus. Of course they are. Animals have dicks. Well, some of them don't. Okay? Can you fucking blame me? Some of them don't. Not all animals have dicks, chat. Alright? That's very unflattering. Wow. Incredibly unflattering, actually. The way they fucking mate! Oh my god, it's so stupid. It looks so stupid! This is the funniest shit ever. Male dragonfly? Hold on. I need to show you. NSFW content that'll probably get me banned. Are you ready, chat? Are you ready? Explicit content. Are we talking turtle levels of stupid? Turtles moan. Turtles fucking moan, and it's the most disturbing thing I've ever heard. Explicit content. Would you look at that? Wow! Look at that! Bug sex! Sugbex! Bug sex is so fucking stupid. Zafrank's Beetle vid talks about Beetle- Oh my god, yes! Do you guys want to react, Andy? You guys want to react, Andy? I want to react, Andy. We gotta watch that fucking video. Don't dox Marshy like that. He doesn't have a penis. He doesn't have anything. He's just a little guy. He doesn't have a dingle-dongle. He's asexual. That's a baby. That's a baby you're talking about. Have some fucking decency. He's just a little guy. Let's see. What is it? What is the video called? No, don't look at me like that. I have done nothing. Nothing. Window capture. Okay, window capture. I already have a window capture? Oh, right. Oogie! Wait. Wait. Okay. Let me disable this fucking shit. Beatles that took things too far. Okay, gotcha. I took things too far. I did. I'm suddenly turning into a whole different fucking species. Me! I'm that bitch! Wait, hold on. I need to fix my fucking background. Oh my god! We were yellow. Ew. There we go. White woman jump scare. Oh my god. White woman. Look at her. Hee hee. Rips your fucking dick off. Hee hee. Shut up, other YouTube. Alright, so we need to set a fucking... We need to set a audio capture. Audio input. Aha. There you go. Okay. We're gonna watch this fucking slop. Slop TV.
Sponsored by Ground News. Now, if you don't know what a beetle is, it's basically an insect that, well, they can be a bit much, all right? Like, look at Pepper here, walking all distracted like she's trying to remember the grocery list she forgot back at the house. Come on, you see it. But look at what she's wearing. It's like 10 a.m. and she's out in a fancy housecoat like that. And then this, zip, pulls a friggin' Buzz Lightyear, and that's with a lot of them, too. You know, can't just fly, has to be a whole production. Like those Transformer movies. But anyways, that's one of the things that makes beetles beetleish to begin with. You know, the old school flying insects had 2 pairs of wings. You need a little extra if you're made out of rock. Now, some modern insects, like the dragonfly, kept that arrangement. Others, like the housefly, got into performance flying. Their back pair of wings shrunk down and evolved into these little stubby organs that help with balance. Oh, for God's sakes, Jerry, tell them to go to the bathroom before the shot. But the beetles, they went for something a bit more hardcore. Over time, their front pair of wings hardened, eventually becoming an extension of their external skeleton. Now, these elytra, as they're called, act sort of like a hard-shell sunglass case for that back pair of wings. And that lets them hang out on the ground and dig or whatever they do without having to worry about getting a wing nicked. Now, you'll notice there's often quite a bit of wing folded up underneath those elytra. Looks cool when it all pops open, like when you use your mom's tiny umbrella. You know the one. It wasn't a euphemism. But then, when you're done with your flying, you gotta put the tent back in the bag. Now, this might not look like much, kind of pulling the whole thing in with Kegels, but what's happening is some complex origami, except they're sort of doing it with their butt. This is what a wing looks like when it's all packed up, and there's a very specific set of folds that have to happen. You can see the first couple happen while the wing's outside.
Huh.
Then, using the elytra as a sort of guide, they do the rest with their abdomen. And then the whole thing ends with this little fold that acts sort of like a latch. Holds it all in place so it doesn't pop out accidentally. And then, of course, you have each
Ass
species of flying
origami.
beetle have to have its own folding pattern. And then you've got these obsessive
Okay.
science hippies that have to figure them all out. But if you want to see some serious wing folding, you gotta go talk to a rove beetle. Now, some rove beetles found the elytra to be a bit restrictive. They wanted to hang out in little tunnels and tight places, maybe get cozy with some ants or hunt them, whatever floats your boat. But to do that, you need a little flexibility, and if you have a full-length elytra, it's like wearing a trench coat made of metal. So over time, their elytra shrunk down to a little bitty thing, and you'd think with that arrangement the wings would follow suit and shrink down too, but no.
Oh,
They've got
wow.
wings for days tucked up in there. Look at that. Now you can imagine it's a bit of a trick to pack that little backpack up. In this case, the wings aren't just individually folded, but rather they're folded into each other. And they don't let that flexible hiney go to waste either. I mean, it's like their version of using your tongue to tie a knot in a cherry stem. And the way they do it isn't symmetrical. Each wing has a different set of folding creases. But it gets even crazier. They can do this starting with the left wing on top, or the other way, where the right wing starts on top. And that means that each individual wing has two different sets of folding creases. And they're still strong enough to fly. I mean, that's not origami, that's fucking crazy shit. Now, you know what they say about dudes with small backpacks? Well, a lot of beetles have some serious equipment to begin with. I mean, look at the junk on that leaf beetle fella. And what's amazing is they have an extra pair of wings in there. Just kidding. But it's big enough, isn't it? Now, they do it a little different than we do it.
What the
The males have this sort of sac of sperm that they need to deliver to a kind of sperm holding station inside the female. And the inside of the female can get a little complicated. So anyways, there's this one rove beetle who has a really long, it's not what you think, it's a flagellum. Now the sperm doesn't
What?
go through the flagellum. Rather, the flagellum is used to guide that sperm sac closer to where it's supposed to go. But here's the problem. When it's done, it has to be retracted into a coil, kind of like a vacuum cleaner power cord. But to do it without tangles, it has to be kept under tension. So after sex, they've got this awkward decoupling. Where at one point that baby maker is slung over his shoulder. And let me tell you, this is what happens when you let sex get on the steering wheel of evolution. It starts getting ridiculous. I mean, I get it, the females have to figure out who to mate with. But come on, they should be looking for a sense of humor or a sexy voice. Not that. What is it, some kind of elaborate headgear that you use to prove yourself against another male? And it's not even a fight to the death, it's a fight to the shame. You know, because she's watching and she's encouraging it. But the whole thing's rigged. I mean, if your fighting style is essentially face judo, of course the one with the bigger parts is gonna win. And then the offspring has the bigger parts and run that on repeat.
You're so
I don't know,
fucking
maybe they look
cute.
sexy in a bar fight, but try sleeping next to that for 20 years. Gets smacked in the head every time he rolls over. And I'm sure some of the males aren't that thrilled either. I mean, you know there's times
I
with
love
the
beetles,
giraffe
dude. They're
weevil,
so
it's just the
fucking
ladies
cute.
were into something like biceps. But no, it's all about the neck. And they get teased. You look like a can opener with a swollen testicle. You look like a pretentious desk lamp from the 90s. Or you long-necked But honestly, I'd take this arrangement over the ones they call giraffe weevils in New Zealand. At least here you got your eyes up front, like a giraffe. In these ones, the eyes are back here. Makes you wonder if people in New Zealand have ever seen a giraffe. Oh sure, they're the ones with the giant nose,
They look so
right?
fucking
Anyway,
weird.
You can see two males here engaged in a schnoz fight with a female in the middle. Huh. And that seems to have done it. So he mounts the female and, well, he's feeling pretty good about himself. And that's how you get it done. I mean, unless Big Steve comes around.
Holy
Big
fuck!
Steve don't give a shit about your tiny ass nose. But the problem is that Big Steve can't always see what's under him so good. If you look closer,
Whoa!
you can see another male wedged himself into the driver's seat. Sort of lost the battle but won the war. You know, one of the first places I learned about beetles was at a USDA lab at the Smithsonian. Unfortunately, the USDA and many other science hippies I work with are facing devastating cuts to their funding. One thing I'm increasingly interested in is how news sources are reporting about the USDA takes with all the what is. And you'll save 40% on the same Vantage plan I use for unlimited access to all their features. Subscribe today. Where were we? Oh, right. It's not always
Whoa.
about advantages in fighting. Sometimes it's about being clingy. These male
Look at
long-haired
that.
beetles have legs like twice the size of the females, and they get a little protective. I mean, it feels like a little bit of a red flag to me, but he makes sure that nobody else inseminates her, and she gets a chance to put the eggs he just fertilized into cracks. But the male forked fungus beetle went literal on the clinginess. When he finds a female he likes, he just holds on for dear life. Here, you can see there's another male there trying to pry him off. They've got these little horns up front that they can kind of wedge in there for leverage. But this isn't about the horns, this is about grip strength. And they've got plenty. They can resist a force 600 times their body weight. And right there is how the science hippies figured that out. But listen, whatever it is, from a long neck to a tight hug, you have to commit to it. Gotta lean into that kink. Look at the dung beetle. When they were starting out, I think at that point they were just juggling shit, nothing fancy. The other beetles laughed their heads off. But you know what? The male dung beetle said, if she's into balls of shit, then I'm gonna make the best and biggest ball of shit there is. Whoop, oh boy. Yeah, they don't tell you that, but uphill can be a real bitch for a dung beetle. Anyway, fast forward, and they're like one of the most famous beetles. Who's laughing now? Over time, their bodies have evolved into dung-rolling machines. Look at this one. His face is basically a spork, and the front legs are studded with shark teeth. And they use those like garden tools to excavate the dung in the first place. And they also come in handy if someone else is getting touchy-touchy with dung you found first. Whoa! Now, the middle legs don't have those saw blades on them, and they help pack the ball down and smooth it out with some help from the tum-tums. Nothing half-ass about. If anything, it's a whole-ass situation. Now, the legs in the back, they've got the toughest job. Because to roll the ball, the beetle essentially does a handstand and then uses the back legs to push it. It's like an ab workout you'd find in the Devil's Hit class. And if that's not hard enough, you gotta fight other males off who are trying to steal your shit. And in the end, it's all worth it. When you're rolling that ball and you know she's gonna lay her eggs in it, and she gives you that look, she's not helping. She's not even pregnant. She can't even push a little bit. And you know what? Sometimes she gets on top and friggin' rides it. And it's bullshit, I think. But listening to me talk like this,
Phrasing?
you might think that all beetles do is fight and have sex. No, they also spend a significant amount of time trying to be not dead. This one here's not doing the best job at that. That bird's basically cracking it open like it's a nut. I'll tell you, there's one beetle that had enough of that and essentially became uncrackable. Also, just gonna throw it out there, looks a bit like a walking cat turd. The diabolical ironclad beetle ditched the flying and fused its elytra together and to its body with seams of interlocking parts. If you look closer, you can see that those parts are made out of lots of layers designed to peel apart and absorb force. These beetles can withstand forces around 39,000 times their body weight. That's like if you could withstand a force 39,000 times your body weight. Jerry, that's not helpful. Now there's another beetle they call the desert ironclad beetle, but they're really not quite as ironclad, and they know it too. So you know what they do when they're threatened? They play dead. It's smart. You gotta know your limits. Now I don't know when the beef started between the beetles and the frogs and toads, but I will say the young ones need to slow the frick down and think about it before they put it in their mouth. Case in point, this one swallows a bombardier beetle. Hour and a half later, vomits it right back up. And the beetle's like, come on, man, we both knew this was gonna happen, and now you made me miss yoga. Because bombardier beetles have put quite a bit of effort into not being eaten. On the fly, they can mix these two chemicals in their abdomen, which together create a boomy boom boom fizz fizz reaction, which sends out a spray of boiling hot poison liquid.
Ooh.
A lot of the time, they'll pop that thing off before they get swallowed. Now, I'm not an expert on frog body language, but I don't think it likes it. It looks like somebody who burned the roof of the mouth with a slice of pizza. Anyway, each generation has to learn this the hard way. Here's a frog that knows what's up. Took a tiny taste and had a flashback and spit that right out. Now, if you happen to be swallowed by a frog and you don't know how to make bombs in your butt, there's another option. Sometimes when you're at your lowest point, you gotta go deeper. And that's what the water scavenger beetle does. Heads for the exit, the other one. And if you want to know what that feels like, I think those leg shakes paint the picture.
He's taking a shit! Oh my god. He's taking a shit! Fuck.
Honey, I had those weird shakes again. No.
Oh my god. That's so funny. I want to watch... Yeah, this one.
This episode is sponsored by Brilliant, a better way to learn. Millions of years ago, the ancestor of sea stars and the other echinoderms thought, screw it, I want to be a circle. The problem was, it wasn't a circle, and even today its descendants most often start their lives out as two-sided bilateral babies. But evolution can do magical things if you get it drunk enough, and as these larvae grow, a second baby, a round baby, starts to grow inside them. The second baby kind of eats the original baby and then bursts out into the world. That's one way to do it. This new body plan of echinoderms has radial symmetry and is a marvel of engineering. First off, the skeletons of echinoderms are made out of this crap. It looks like a bag of evidence from when they finally arrest the tooth fairy. These pieces are called ossicles, and they're made by cells that are almost like little 3D printers. They come in all sorts of shapes and sizes, and often look like something you might find on a tray at Satan's dentist. Up close, you can see that these ossicles are made out of a porous honeycomb mesh of magnesium calcite. All those little holes allow tissue to grow inside them and to connect them to other ossicles in a kind of 3D jigsaw puzzle. It's a little like evolution got a model airplane kit, but where the pieces weren't labeled, so there was nothing left to do but sniff the glue and get creative. The resulting skeletons can be quite flexible, like those in the arms of the brittle star, for example. Or when they're fused together, they can form the solid dome or test of a sea urchin. But these parts aren't just internal. You can see them on the surface of the sea star as well, in the form of spines or these little crazy things called pedicellari. They might not look like much, but you'll see. In the sea star, the skeleton forms a body cavity, as you can see with this one, who's had a bit of a rough day. This cavity is filled with organs and what is essentially seawater. But listen, this isn't just some star-shaped water balloon.
God damn! Look at that dumpy. Bro, it's packing.
There is one of the most advanced hydraulic systems found in nature.
I want to touch that. I want to fucking grab it and just squeeze it.
Look here, on the top of sea stars, you'll find a little nipply thing. It looks like where you'd put the pin in to blow up a ball of sport. This is called the madreporite. Too close, Jerry. This looks naughty. This one's better. It's like a yearbook glamour shot. The madreporite is essentially a valve that leads to a series of canals. The canals are connected to rows of these little tube-like nubbins. The top parts sit inside of the sea star and the bottom parts stick out. Here you can see where the little canal runs down the length of the arm, and these here are the little sticky out bits. Two groups of muscles control the flow of water within these little tubes. One group pushes water down and elongates them. The other shortens them by pushing water back up to the top. These tubed feet, as they're called, run down the length of each arm in a groove. These grooves are often protected by spines, and sometimes they can even close up. It's like a dream that a dentist would bring to therapy. In sea stars, one of the functions of these tube feet is walking. Sometimes the tips of the feet are pointy, and up close they can look like an old man in a cold pool. This style of tip is especially good for digging around and burying yourself in the sand. Look at this one, he's doing it all fancy. In other species, these tube feet end in these sort of disc shapes. Looks a bit like an elephant that tried to snort a frisbee. These discs, can secrete
Fuck.
kind of a glue, as well as an anti-glue. This allows the sea star to navigate rough terrain or to hold on in a strong current. Science hippies believe that these feet operate more or less independently, following a set of simple rules. Hold on until you're stretched too far and then let go. Then swing forward and reattach. These simple rules can lead to two styles of walking. In crawling, the tube feet are all kind of doing their own thing. It's slow, but it gets the job done. But they also have a get-me-the-hell-out-of-here sort of walk. In the right conditions, clusters of feet start moving at the same time, and it creates a faster bouncing style of movement. In the world of sea stars, this is a bit like a gallop. Now, relatives of the sea stars, the brittle stars, felt like this way of walking didn't quite have enough pep. Instead of using tube feet to move, brittle stars use their arms in a sort of breaststroke with a leading erection. And they're good at it too. When they get going, they're pretty quick. To change direction, they don't turn, they just lead with a different arm. I mean, they're not facing in any particular direction because they don't have a face. And that's what happens when you forget to evolve a head. And they can be quite cute, especially when they're little. Look at this one, he's adorable.
Oh my
But
God.
look at this right here. I know what you're thinking. Why does that fish look so freaked out? It's just a harmless little brittle star. Well, just wait till you hear what happened to Marjorie. But first, a message about our sponsor. If you like learning as much as I do, and I do, off Brilliant's annual, she gets away from that one, but the problem, they're minding her own business. Where were we? Oh, right. So Marjorie the squid was out there minding her own business, got a little distracted and wound up in the wrong neighborhood. And look, a brittle star just reaches up and grabs her. She gets away from that one, but the problem is she's surrounded. They're friggin' everywhere. Bad day for Marjorie. That's what you get if you don't pay attention. Don't worry, she gets away. Just kidding. She dies. I'm telling you, brittle stars are quite aggressive. One finds a dead fish and suddenly it's a full-on rumble. Look, that one's getting away. Run away!
God damn.
I digress. Now, brittle stars do have tubed feet. They just don't use them for walking. Instead, it turns out that tubed feet can be used to do all sorts of things. For one, they can absorb oxygen and be used for breathing. Your foot can't do that. Your foot's boring. And it's not just breathing either. On the tips of their arms, sea stars have a cluster of thin, wispy, modified tubed feet. These seem to have chemoreceptive abilities that can sense concentrations of different molecules in the water
I
around
want to
them.
touch it.
Now, they don't have a central brain, but instead they have a distributed nervous system. The arms and even individual parts of the
Maybe
arms
the 19
can
months
sense
jelly.
and react to stimuli on their own. Bigger decisions like which way to move are made by integrating signals across all of the arms. And it's not just touch and chemical signals. You see that little orange thing? You know what that is? It's a freaking eye. Each arm has a friggin' eye on the end. How crazy is that? You can't tell them not to point and stare. That's just how the sea star do. If they ever evolved faces like a people, this is what you'd be looking at. Right before you got a tube foot up your... Well, this compound eye sits on, you'll never guess this, a modified tubed foot. Up close, you can see that it's a cluster of photoreceptive cells, which look a bit like something you might see a urologist for. See? Sea stars see. But they're not crazy good at the seeing thing. You know, you wouldn't want their help with a jigsaw puzzle, but it's probably good enough to help the sea star get its bearings. An eye on each arm means that sea stars can have a near 360-degree simultaneous field of vision. Can't sneak up on sea star. Sea stars sneak up on you. Some species have even fancier bits. The sea star Lynchia levigata is an eye that is surrounded by darkened, tube feet. I really feel like we could make a case for dropping the word feet. These darkened but see-through tubes seem to act like sunglasses. And look at that. They can close their eye all the way.
I've gone to a, what's it called? An aquarium with a touch tank section. It was really fun.
They can friggin' wink. With the help of their sensory tubes and little eyes, sea stars can search around for things to eat. Different species are looking for different things, preferably something they can catch, which does limit it a bit. Some of them just sort of sift through crap that they find in the great litter box of the ocean floor. Mud stars full-on bury themselves and eat mouthfuls of it. Their mouth's already pointed that way, and they don't have to move that far, so that's good. Downside is they're eating mud. Other species prefer coral, which sometimes comes on a stick. It's like if you found a shish kebab the size of a palm tree. Just climb on and start eating your way to the top. These sea stars don't really have teeth or the kind of mouth you can chew with, so instead they evert their stomach, which is a fancy science word for saying turns the insides the outside. The stomach then just starts digesting on the outside. Sucks for the coral, horrible way to die, and it can take months. If a sea star has a taste for a stupid clam, it can use its little suction cup feet to pry apart the shell wide enough so that it can stick its stomach in there and go to work. I know what you're thinking, my stomach can't do that. Well, not with that attitude. Have a bowl of chili and a bottle of Southern Comfort. I bet you could barf your stomach into a clam. Deep sea stars in the order Brysingida have a different technique. They suspension feed, curling their arms up into the water column and trapping things that float by with the help of their pedicellariae. Oh right, I still have to tell you about the pedicellariae. As if they weren't crazy enough, sea stars are often covered in hundreds, if not thousands, of little pinchy pinchers. Sometimes they surround spines in clusters that can almost look like little pom-poms. Of death, up close you can see they're no joke, like little bear traps, and they actually work. They come in different shapes and sizes. Some look like little tweezers. Others can almost look like clamshells. The thinking is that they're mainly used to stop parasites from getting too cozy on the surface of the sea star. However, some species figured out how to use them to catch prey, in some cases even small fish. Now the sea urchins went next level with all this. They have three-sided pedicellariae that are often on the end of long stalks. Up close they can sometimes look like forceps. In the flower sea urchin, these little jaws are covered in a membrane, which, when open, make them look like tiny round flowers. But when they're disturbed, they snap shut into a little star shape and deliver a toxin. It's crazy, right? It just gets weirder and weirder. They're probably going to evolve to shoot them out like little drones. Well, that already happened. When the collector urchin senses a predator is about, it ejects a whole bunch of its pedicellari into the water, and they just float around, chomping and injecting venom into anything they touch. It's like a little cloud of pain. Anyway, while Bryzingids use pedicellari to suspension feed, another relative of sea stars, the crinoids, figured out a different way to do it. Their arms have evolved into what basically can look like feathers. These arms are lined with tubed feet and mucus-covered cilia. Little particles get trapped and then moved to the center of the arms, where tube feet sort of snot roll them into little balls and transport them down towards the mouth. They just sort of sit there and let the food come to... Holy shit! It turns out that even though they can look like clumps of starving agave, some feather star crinoids can get quite fidgety. Look at this one walking around on his fingertips. One group in the order Cometulida even figured out how to swim. Don't
That's
know who taught
crazy.
them. Can't exactly throw them in the deep end, can you? Dad joke. Not the most elegant stroke. Looks a bit like a drowning burlesque dancer. In any case, these feather star crinoids figured it out and they float or swim until they find a new place to grab on with those, well, the science hippies call them cirri. But come on, those are witch fingers. And if you know anything about witch fingers, you know how good they are at grabbing. Go ahead and clench your ass on a broom all you want, but you need that support up front. Don't teach you that in science school, do they, you science hippies? Another group of crinoids, the sea lilies, decided to go more like full-on plant with roots and all. They have a long stalk that attaches quite firmly to the sea floor. This holdfast keeps them anchored and in place, even when they're pummeled by strong currents. And it looks like an idyllic life, doesn't it? Beachfront property, palm tree, well, I guess you are the palm trees, but overall a good setup to suspension feed in peace. If it weren't for these little bastards, these are sideroid sea urchins, and they look a bit like the ball they use in Soccer for Masochists. But the spiky bits aren't the problem, it's what's underneath. These sea urchins have a mouth that comes with 5 teeth-like things that can self-sharpen as they rub against each other. It's terrifying. This mouth-part contraption is called Aristotle's lantern, which explains why no one ever wanted to sleep over at old Aristotle's.
Ew.
Most regular urchins use this to scrape stuff like algae off rocks, but these sideroid urchins developed...
Hi, Take! Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome! Hello, Raiders. My name is Alice. I'm a Goliath Little Blonde Bimbo, and today we are watching Weird Sea Facts.
taste for flesh.
I hope you like sea
Crinoid
urchin.
flesh. So this right here is a straight-up scene from a crinoid horror film. It's, well, the pacing is a bit slower than you might be used to. But let me tell you, if
I hope you had a good
speed things up
stream.
a bit, you can see that an urchin will seriously f*** up a crinoid. Look
Jesus,
at that, he
fuck!
totally ripped it apart. So here's the crazy thing. Some of these sea lilies have evolved a daring escape plan. At the base of their stalk, there are segments that they can weaken using a special kind of
Fucking
connective
nasty.
tissue. Under threat, some sea lilies will fall down and break their stalks on purpose, and then freaking crawl away. Look at that. It runs away like a mop that finally had enough of your shit. It's
Oh my
amazing.
god.
And that's the problem with living in the ocean. There's lots of things that want to eat you down there. Look at this crab, treating that brittle star like it's a pull-apart dinner roll. And that's what happens when you have all those sticking out bits. It's dangerous. It's why they don't have dog parks in
Bro is
nudist
going to
colonies.
town.
You're thinking about it, aren't you? Now, if you aren't good at running away, which I think we've established is the case with sea stars, you need other ways to protect yourself. You can cover yourself with sharp spines like this one in the genus Zoroaster, or the goat of spines, the crown of thorns sea star.
Whoa!
But there's always an animal that figures out how to get around things like that. This Pacific Triton here doesn't give a
fuck?
crap about your thorny thorns. Now, the cushion star,
What the fuck was that?
Tessellatus, got a little more creative. It evolved a way to create and expel toxic slime from a little hole on the top of its body. Not a little bit of slime.
Whoa!
Like a lot of slime. You should see what it does when it likes you. But sea stars
Jesus.
have a legit magic trick. They have this special collagenous tissue throughout their body that they can harden or soften fairly quickly. So, for example, they can crawl into a crack when they're sort of limp and then stiffen up so they're wedged in there and you can't pull them out. But they can also use this collagenous tissue in the way that that sea lily did. They can weaken segments in their
Yo,
arms
dude, me
so that
too.
an arm can be pulled off easily. A treat for the predator, and the starfish doesn't die, win-win. And it isn't just when they're attacked. If they have sea star wasting disease like these ones do, they will pull their own arm off in order to save the rest. You can see how the tissue immediately closes around the open
Jesus.
wound that leads to the body cavity. The arms that are detached are still alive and will sometimes keep on searching for food and passing it back to a mouth that doesn't exist. Now, of course, the second part of this magic trick is that they can grow their arm back. They start by recreating the outer tip of the arm, the part that has the sensory bits, and then they start to fill in the middle. Here's how the trick works. Animals start out as little undifferentiated clumps of cells. These cells, stem cells, can become any sort of tissue, a nipple, an eye. But in humans, for example, once they become that thing, they can't go back to being undifferentiated. Your nipple cannot turn into an eye, thank God. Sea star cells that are one thing can go back and become something else. And that's how the sea star can regrow an entire arm using the cells from its body. What's even more amazing is that in some species, an arm that is broken off at the right segment can grow a whole rest of a starfish back. I know what you're thinking. If they can do that, it's a hell of a lot simpler way of making babies than using dating apps. There are a few species of sea star, like this one, Alistocastor insignis, that make more of themselves simply by splitting in two. The tiny little sea star Parvalastra vivipara can also do it so well, but
so
not
cute!
by ripping itself apart. Instead, it is a hermaphrodite and fertilizes its own
so fucking
eggs
cute, look
inside
at
of
it!
itself. The babies are cannibals and eat each other inside the parent's body as they grow, until the lucky ones burst out of holes on its parent's back, sometimes killing them in the process. There's a baby photo for you. Leptosterius.
What the fuck? Oh my god! Jesus! Damn, that's crazy. I was not expecting that. Oh. I'm gonna take a moment to take a piss. I'll be right back. Oh my god, hi, I'm back.
Polaris, on the other hand, gets into a little sex pile. I know what it looks like, but there's no bits going into other bits in there. The males release their sperm and the females release their eggs. And when they're fertilized, the females curl up in a swirl and sit on their eggs like a beard might. But most species don't put in nearly that level of effort. Males and females just release their baby-making bits into the water, cross their little tube feet, and hope for the best. Think of it like if human sperm looked like the seeds of a dandelion, and the eggs sort of came out like soap bubbles. A couple times a year, everyone just goes out on their balconies, maybe wearing a t-shirt and socks, a glass of rosé maybe. Then you just sort of let it go, and try not to get caught in a back breeze. And that is how the sea star do. No, you.
More!
This episode is sponsored by.
Oh yeah, you can recommend a video.
Learn to
Hold on.
think.
You can send it. Sorry, I'm having a snack and I'm really hungry. God damn it.
This episode is.
Hold on. I can't figure it out. Let me see. Okay.
For many years, we have been acutely aware of the existence of ghosts. Their presence established by untold hours of filmed footage. Ghosts are real, and they are here to stay. They make you shit yourself. Quick, thin shits, or thits that originate from deep within the stomach. Oh, they make you run, and they make you hide. They can even make you sit up in bed in the 1950s style.
Fucking hell. Go over the window, Gary.
But where do ghosts go to when they are not doing the noses and the spooks and the shotting stuff about? The answer is into the sea. That's right. Over 94% of ghosts reside in our oceans. The other 6% live inside bears and white dogs. It is beneath the oceans they take on their actual physical forms. The boned creeper, the leggy egg, Mr. Spud You-Like, Agent Eyeball from the shit farm, DJ Karen and Disco Ken, Condom Kate from Weybridge, Mr. Blinky Blink not today, Malcolm. She wore a blue anus. And Wanky Bill. There are 3 types of ghosts I wish to examine today. The Push Malcolms, the Shouty Kenneths, and the Wankers. Now, the Push Malcolms are classic slapstick topplers. When on land, they like to embarrass and injure the public as they go about.
Oh my god, hi! Hi! I hope you had a good raid, Milia. I love you. A good stream. Jesus Christ. I'm sorry. I'm stupid. I'm sorry. I love you. Welcome, Raiders. My name is Alex. I'm a guy, Fetal One Bimbo. We're watching C-Facts. Do you like C-Facts? Yeah, thank you so much for the raid, Milia. I love you. I'm gonna squeeze you until your eyes pop out.
Their business. All the public here is one of its trademark insults.
Hojitas, bonitas.
On your ass. Get down. Oof, feel the gas. Go on. On your face. Get into the sea, please. On your ass, clever clogs. This shitty, slippy sailboat. The Shouty Kenneths like to scream at their opponents. When they come onto land, they use this technique to scare our household pets, just for the shits and the giggles.
Oh. What the fuck did this video turn into?
Finally, the Wankers. This dozy fucker is called Denter. He doesn't know his ass from his tit mags. On land, he specializes in causing havoc on our roads by ripping us to sixpence with his knacker. You tit.
Another fucking compilation?
Bellend. Whoa! Shame! So the next time you're buying a Yukon pet, walking your Yukon walk, or driving on them there Yukon byways, remember that deep below the ocean, ghosts are hatching a plan to bring you down. Ghosts are real. and despite what you've been told, come from the sea.
I'm an adult virgin. Hold on. I love this channel. We're gonna watch fucking slop. The purest form of slop. Are you ready? Let's see. Let's watch this one.
One of my New Year's resolutions for this year is to read more books. I want to get better at my vocabulary and maybe gain new perspectives and understanding of the people and the world around me. Cause it's good to always feed your brain, and knowledge is power. But almost every book I picked up was boring. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, wizards aren't real. Why am I reading this? The Great Gatsby, a man is head over heels over a married woman when he should know he's just a side piece. He sounds like a lame. I'm not reading. The point is, almost no books were able to hit me. None of them connected with me. I was starting to question, what's the point of me learning to read as a child if it was only gonna give me the ability to read books like this or memes like that? Why do I even have eyes when all my hope was lost? I remember the genre of books that I knew for a fact would increase my vocabulary drastically. Freaky books. Now, when talking about freaky books, I think we have the same idea of what I mean. Stuff like 50 Shades of Grey. Books that only talk to you dirty. The explicit scriptures. Kinda like The Hub, but words. Now, I don't have much experience reading these types of books. I only went as far as reading my fair share of Twilight and Scooby-Doo fanfics when I was a kid. Don't ask. So reading these books would be kind of a new step forward in my life. But I don't want to just read any freaky book. 50 Shades of Grey never looked like something I would enjoy. It looked like it was geared toward 40-year-old lonely white woman, and I'm clearly not in that demographic. So I want to read a book about something that I can relate to, something that can connect with me in a spiritual way. And in my search to find the perfect freaky book, I discovered the author, Quan Mills. Quan Mills is a world-famous author known for some of their best-selling titles such as My Baby Mama is a Loser, Pregnant by My Mother's Gay Husband, This Hoe Got Roaches in Her Crib, My Psycho Baby Daddy, This Got a Small and This Got a Small the sequel. Now they say never judge a book by its cover, but if I saw books like this when I went to school, I probably would have been more motivated to read back then and not be in my current situation now. These books sound awesome. As much as I want to read all these books, today I'm gonna be reading some excerpts from one of Quan's more popular books, Old Thought Next Door. Let me read you a bit of the summary real quick. Meet Vernita Ernestine Washington, a feisty 76-year-old woman who doesn't care what you think about her ways, especially for a woman her age. Yeah, she might be a senior citizen, but she'd be the first to tell you age ain't nothing but a number. She's convinced the honeycomb between her legs doesn't taste a day older than 40. Whoa, that's a 5-star meal. A widow for some time now, Vernita is determined to make up for her stale marriage. However, when a major health scare sets her back, she finds herself losing everything. Reality sets in that her time on Earth is about to come to a close. Now faced with the death sentence, Vernita seeks to live out her remaining days being the biggest old super freak. At this point of the summary, how can you not be hooked? I won't lie, what inspired me to make this vid is cause I saw this one IG reel of this dude listening to it at a gas station.
That's the woman. Call me a predator if you want to, but riding some young is truly what regulates my blood pressure and keeps my cholesterol down. And that is why I have me not one, but 2 young on their way to my place.
After seeing that, I had to
Jesus fucking Christ. That's too good.
read this book for myself. So we're gonna read most of the first chapter together, because after reading it myself, I think it gives a good idea of how freaky this book is throughout its entirety. Hopefully this video stays monetized, and that's enough yapping. Let's begin our read along. Chapter 1. Baby, let me tell you one motherfucking thing. I don't give a damn what you think about me and my age. Yeah, I might be 76 years old, but this big, thick between my toned brown legs don't act like it. This is the first paragraph, and I'm already in love. My name is Vernita Ehrenstein Washington, and I ain't ashamed to admit that I loves to drink brown liquor, smoke good reefer, and most definitely get my on. You heard that right. Yup. I loves to ride me a big old black. Age ain't nothing but a number, baby doll. My body felt like I was still 40, and you best believe I like I was still 40. I love how I'm not even done with the first page yet, and I already know what type of woman this character is. I for real think this is a good first page to a book, cause for me, it instantly hooked me. I wanted to know more about this character, and her being the narrator of it only makes this story more engaging. Now for all the young people out there, I can let you in on a secret if you're wondering what I did to stay so young and vibrant. If you thought going to the health club every day was my secret, then you guessed wrong. Now don't get me wrong, I did get my little workout in at the health club to stay in shape, but truth be told, I really went to go look at them fine young men's they be having up in there. You know, she low-key spitting facts. I be going to Planet Fitness, and I only see studs working out in there. It's truly a haven. If you think my secret is watching what I eat, then you guessed wrong again. Baby, I gets down in the kitchen, and I sure love me some Popeye's chicken. Baby, give me a 2-piece dark spicy with a side of Cajun rice after a good down, and my sexy ass will be in heaven. Normally, I'd be hyped for a Popeye shout out like this, but right now they're working with the CIA, so
Me too, girl. Me too.
I'm gonna lay low. Baby, let me tell you what my #1 secret is. You ready? Hold on now. Get a little closer. My #1 secret to living a long, happy, healthy life was making sure you surround yourself with some young folk. And by young folk, I mean some young. And when I say young, I ain't talking 50 or 40. Baby, I'm talking young. Well, hold on a second.
Whoa!
Between the ages of 20 and 30.
Oh, thank God.
We good. Call me a nasty woman. Call me a predator if you want to. But riding some young is truly what regulates my blood pressure and keeps my cholesterol down. And that was why I had me not one, but 2 young on their way to my place. I don't know what's crazier. Granny doing a 2-man by herself or the dudes that agreed to do this. Doorbell sound effect. Whoop. There it is. That was my doorbell. Come in, I yelled as I hopped off my couch, sprinting toward the front door. Cause my was ready to get this party started. Peeping out the front door's peephole, I took a quick scan just to make sure it was my double appointment. And surely it was. Hallelujah! I don't know if God got anything to do with this, but I'm glad she's happy. I quickly swung the front door to my townhouse open.
The fucking bee!
Afternoon, I uttered with a big-ass smile stretched across my face. Child, you should have seen how suddenly Markel and this other sexy-ass young man looked surprised. Guess they didn't think I'd opened the door already, ready to get my on. This sexy-ass gasped, clutching his mouth. Yo, damn, it's like that? Markel smilingly exclaimed, rubbing his hard, muscular hands together. He scanned me up and down. His eyes were glued to every square inch of my body.
Oh, this who we finna tag?
The other sexy young man chimed in as he too clutched his mouth with his right fist.
Man, she old as fuck.
Bro has no respect for his elders. You just gonna say that to her face? He ain't even walked in the house yet and he's already being disrespectful. I would've told his ass to leave if I was Miss Vernita. But don't worry, she gets mad at him too. All of a sudden, I could feel my blood boiling and a look of anger instantly grew on my face. I know they saw how mad I got. Old? Boy, your mammy is old. I ain't old. Markel smacked his teeth and said, man, chill the out, Will. Trust me, Miss Vernita on point, bruh. The other young shook his head.
I don't know about this, though. This gonna be weird as
This guy's still tripping about this. Man, there's dudes out here that get 0 girls. And now that you finally get one, you mad at it because the woman is older than your mom? The audacity of people, am I right? Can we have this conversation on the inside at least? I said. Y'all letting all my cool air out. Markel glanced over at this Will friend of his, nodding affirmatively. Come on, bruh. Trust me. We finna have some fun. This Vernita a vet.
fine.
Will reluctantly muttered, And then the two of them walked inside my place. You see, this is where the real action begins. I'm prepared for this ride. Both Markel and Will were wearing black tank tops, exposing their tatted up muscular arms and shoulders. They looked like some straight up gang members. But ooh, baby, Miss Bernita just loved her some roughneck street. Markel was a little old chocolate stallion with Pacific Ocean waves sitting on top of his head. He had broad shoulders, cut up arms, and a chest that looked like it was harder than steel. Standing at around 5'10", his young sexy ass looked like he was a good 200 pounds of all muscle. And baby, let me tell you, that of his weighed about a good 200 pounds too. This other young man, Will, reminded me of that sexy, fine, light-skinned boy that plays on that show that comes on cable. What's the name of it again? Power? Y'all know what I'm talking about. That drug dealer boy with the beard. Tommy? Ghost. That's right. I almost forgot too. Why I say Tommy? With the both of them in front of me, we marched straight into my living room. Y'all sit down and make yourself comfortable, I calmly instructed. I'm finna go get the reefer and a Henny. Y'all smoking, right? Will's hazel eyes shot wide open out of shock. He looked at Markel.
Is she for real?
Yes, bruh, she's cool. I'm telling you, bruh. This guy only speaks in bruh. Will then looked back at me smiling, saying,
Damn. Hell yeah, I'm smoking. What you got? Some joints or something?
my brow raised.
Huh?
Don't try me. I might be old, but baby, I smokes nothing but blunts. Backwards, matter of fact. I got them Russian creams in the back. Speaking of cream, I could feel my getting juicier than a fresh pot roast. Okay. You cannot chill for 1 second. She really got the brain of a freak.
Jesus Christ. Hi, Toon Link.
Good your thought.
Will shouted, jumping up and down. What did you say?
Huh?
I turned my face up. I'd be damned if this young nigga was gonna disrespect me in my house. What I'm trying to think is, why is he jumping up and down saying that? Bro got a little too excited hearing about Russian dreams. Markel nudged Will in his shoulder.
Bro!
Will quickly got his act together and stood still.
My bad. My bad.
He apologized. That's what I thought. Anyways, I'm finna go run to my room right quick and get the reefer. Y'all make yourself comfortable. Not gonna lie, Will is fumbling this two-man with Markel. Every time this dude talk, it's always something disrespectful. I know Markel never gonna invite him to one of these again. You might be wondering how she even got to meet these young men. Vernita had met Markel at LA Fitness, and he was the personal training sales manager. And he had offered her some home personal training sessions, as long as she didn't tell his manager about it. And she only agreed to it cause, and I quote this from her words, not mine, I could make him a victim to my good tender And that's how we're in this situation now. Also, Markel brought his friend with him because he's a real homie. If he's eating, the whole squad is eating. I like that mindset. All right, let's continue. Anyways, now that I was back in my room, I quickly made my way over to my walk-in closet. Once I opened my safe, I grabbed my favorite kind of reefer, a pack of backwoods cigars, and my lighter. I dashed over into my bathroom just to make sure I still looked dazzling. Now staring at myself in the mirror, I grabbed my brush off my marble bathroom countertop and lightly ran it through my silver hair. I'm gonna have to call Keisha to have her give me a touch-up, I commented to myself. I then leaned close into the mirror and analyzed my makeup. My mascara, foundation, and lipstick was still on point. I looked left, glanced right. Yes, Lord, I looked good. I chuckled, sticking my tongue out. Quickly dashing out the bathroom, I heard my cell phone buzzing as it charged on my nightstand. I froze for a moment, tempted to answer it. But it. Baby, I didn't have time to check it. Whoever could have been calling me at this moment was just gonna have to wait, cause I was ready to get high, drunk, and suck some big dicks. And I might
Hi, Jamu.
just eat that today. I was ready to let it all go this afternoon.
What the fuck?
Shoot, Will was right. She is a thought. I've seen all types of freaky in my life, but eating grown man ass is crazy. You know those cheeks are hairy. Now, feet away from the living room, I came to an abrupt stop when I saw Markel and Will were now completely naked, sitting on my nice white Italian leather living room couch. Shh, them dudes are wasting no time. They ready to get their freak on. Baby, my mouth shot wide open in shock, but it wasn't them being naked that had me stunned. They were making out.
Whoa!
Yes, kissing each other, tongues all deep down each other's throats. Their eyes were closed and everything, as if they were in love. And they were stroking. Oh, hell no, I'm not reading that. What? Child, I was about to pass out. Take me home now, Lord Jesus. I screamed to the top of my lungs. What the hell are y'all doing? Chapter 1. I'm at a loss for words right now. That was singly one of the greatest pieces of fiction I've ever read in my life. You had world building, drama, and twists and turns all in the first chapter of your book. And the cliffhanger, which makes me want to rip to the next page. I can't end the read along like this. I gotta know what happens next. Will Vernita not vibe with this and kick them out? Or are we about to see the movie Challengers Part 2? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Nah, we're about to read this together right now. I just need to know. Chapter 2. What in the hell are y'all doing? Still standing there shocked. I couldn't believe what my wide eyes were observing. These young niggas were crazy as hell if they thought this was okay. I did not get down like this at all. I was still a bit old school. Come on, Miss Vernita, you gotta be more progressive than that. If you see two gay dudes kissing, you gotta join in. That's how I be showing I'm an ally. Oh, Markel said, suddenly pulling himself off Will. But then a gigantic smile came across my face. Y'all don't need to stop. I loves it. It's gonna be very, very interested. Guess there was a first time for everything.
Okay.
And then you could probably assume what happens after this. That's enough reading for one sitting. And I gotta say, this is one of the greatest books I've ever read.
She just like me for
It's
real!
one of the only books I've ever read, but one of the greatest. After reading it, I can already feel my vocabulary increasing. I say big black almost every day now. Hopefully you guys had as fun as a time listening to me read it as much as I did reading it by myself. And yeah, that's all I really gotta say. So in conclusion, if you're in school, add this to your reading log. Let me.
God, that's so fucking funny, bro.
Take him to Detroit.
Let's see, what else can we find? Yes.
I'm just a kid.
Movies. A magnificent visual art form that can show the riveting story of one's life or journey. They can display the harshness of someone's struggles and the beauty of someone's rise, conveying emotions that whenever I see them on screen, I can't help but feel the same way the character is feeling on screen. Not only that, they can introduce you to a new world that is entirely detached from our reality that I'm almost always engulfed in. I think that's a beautiful wonder about movies. They can spark out emotions from me that I just can't get from any other media. But what kind of deep emotions does movies like this spark for me?
What the fuck?
Of course, just like with everything else in existence, there's a not so good counterpart to movies. And these counterparts could be found way easier nowadays since most blockbusters nowadays aren't really that good anymore. Like y'all making so many superhero movies nowadays, when are you guys gonna make the Black Bomber superhero movie? I need that. I'll see that in theaters 3 times in a row. Y'all show my boy no respect. and yet y'all gonna produce the 18th billionth Fast and Furious movie. Ain't nobody wanna see that? And streaming services be producing half the slop we be consuming nowadays. You can find many of them on Netflix. There's a ton of banger movies on there. But after seeing it on TikTok from time and time again, it seems like there's a streaming service that is a gold mine for not only B movies, but low quality looking, $50 budget, filmed on a Motorola looking ass movies. Tubi. And when finding this out, my curiosity got the best of me. I needed to see this. And when I checked it out, I was not only amazed, but I was perplexed on how
Fucking dog.
amazing these movies are. Some of these movies will make Martin Scorsese reconsider what true cinema is.
And this bitch is sitting on my living room couch. You the only one with a key.
What are you talking about?
Tiffany the doll.
Boy, I don't even know what you're talking about. I haven't been there in weeks.
Where the fuck did she go?
Tubi, if you ain't know, is a streaming service like the others, but unlike them, out of their original catalog, they have great works of arts like Bad Cat, Mary Finger Kill, and Shark Side of the Moon. You know, absolute classics that everybody knows. But outside the originals they produce, Tubi also has a big catalog of B movies. Not the jazz one, but low budget and indie movies. It has a whole bunch of films made by everyday people like you and me, since anybody can make a movie nowadays. If you got a camera, you can make a movie. The thing is, a lot of these films don't look the best, or sound the best, or even make sense half the time, but that's okay. These people made and created a movie that they're so proud of that they released it to the public for all of us to watch. There's no better accomplishment than that. I'll be talking about one movie today, and that movie is titled Love Beat the Hell Out of Me. And today, I'll be going through and over these movies, just so you guys can see a glimpse of what I saw of what Tubi has to offer. By the way, this ain't sponsored by Tubi. They ain't paying me jack to do this. But if a Tubi exec is watching this, my pockets are open. Just like how my pockets are open for today's sponsor, War Thunder. War Thunder is the most comprehensive vehicle combat game that was ever out. All right, let's get this started. I gotta go to my BBL appointment later. So the movie I'll be talking about is Love Beat the Hell Out of Me. Now, I'm not sure this movie is trying to be a sequel or a remake to the 2000 movie with the same title starring the original War Machine, but honestly, my research ended there. I ain't watching both movies. The movie starts off with the beautifully done studio logos and title card with some MF Doom song playing in the background. I don't know, I've only heard them from TikTok. And right at the start, we get introduced to our two main characters doing it. Okay, why start off with a sex scene? Why? You instantly make it awkward when I'm with my family. Anyways, our two characters, Renee and Antonio, are happily married. They got a kid and they're doing fine, I guess. Then we cut to Antonio's job at his office and he already acting like a demon.
What the fuck?
His boss then enters and introduces him to the new hire, Rhonda. And you can already see mad romantical tension between them. You can cut it with a sword or tortilla. It was that obvious. Next scene, we are at a school with Renee dropping off her son to and in his classroom. There she meets her son's new teacher, and the dude is buff like a Samoan. By the end of their convo, you can see even more romantical tension in the air. We seen so much lustful tension with these two, and it was never with each other. She then leaves because she ain't trying to act up, you know? Next, we're at a studio, hearing one of the best songs ever recorded.
Sitting in my crib, trying to get blown. Niggas need to understand my shit just flows. Like the breeze off the fucking lake. I got this dope shit uncut, make your ass lose weight.
So this dude is Renee's brother, and apparently this is Antonio's studio. And they're all a part of this music group. I forgot what it's called. And Antonio invited some fine singers to help him record a song. Renee's brother and Antonio start hollering at these girls, and all of a sudden, this dude becomes a comedian.
No, he didn't call himself T-Slick. For real? This candy man looking goofy.
Yeah, say my name 3 times, motherfucking watch for that.
Yeah, how dare you sabotage me in front of these ladies when your sister is literally my wife? But they kiss and make up at the end, so it's all cool. Then we teleport to this long salon scene where Renee works out, and all the girls there are roasting each other, talking about their kids and that new teacher Renee met today. Her salon buddies egg her, trying to get the deets out of her, but she shows off her wedding ring, announcing her loyalty to Antonio. How sweet. Alright, not gonna lie, first third of this movie is kinda slow. There's a lot of small talk, like Antonio telling Ray about the new hire and one of Ray's grown-ass friends trying to flirt with a kid in a chicken shop.
Hey,
What the fuck?
It ain't until we back at Antonio's office and Rhonda call him for some assistance. Antonio heads over to her office and then his boss is looking for him because he just got nominated for an award for best attorney in the district. The boss and secretary go to Rhonda's office to tell Antonio the good news, only to walk in on him giving Rhonda back shots.
Are you freaking kidding me?
They fired on the spot and Rhonda's laughing like she an anime villain. I don't know what the hell that's about. We then cut to
Whoa.
Renee Bro showing up to their house and he trying to tell her the bad news about her husband Antonio. I have no idea how he knows, but like just deal with it. But then he does one of those long build-up explanations instead of just saying what the husband did. Just say he cheated.
Your husband ain't the man you think he is.
Then Antonio walks in last second, right before an actual explanation, of course. I hate when characters do that in movies. Just spit it out. Spit it out already. Then we cut to Renee visiting Antonio's old job because she just wanted to see her husband, being a working and strong man. Only to find out this man hasn't been working there for 2 weeks. She obviously mad, but then the boss tells her the real reason why he got fired. Then she gets even more mad.
You Miss Chambers. Renee, you, the job, everybody that work up in here, your nosy ass secretary. Renee.
We then cut to Antonio making music with that singer he met earlier. Then they start f***ing. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. My guy really said, I already cheated once. Might as well do it again. Then Renee finally confronts him about his cheating, his job, and she is tired of his dishonesty.
You need to calm down. Stop telling me to calm down.
Who the fuck you think you talking?
This man just starts going Chris Brown on her and starts chasing her with a gun like he John Wick in the most intense chase scene I've ever seen in a movie.
What the fuck? Got a fucking gun! Oh my fucking god.
She falls and he brings
My fucking my thing gave out. Fuck.
her back home and threatens her saying, you better not leave me or I'm gonna go crazy. And he's also a crackhead now, I guess. Next scene, her brother show up and sees her face. Super worried, he asked, who did this? And she's like, Antonio, but we're not together no more, so there's nothing to worry about. But he wasn't having it, and he was gonna deal with it on his own. Bro waits for Antonio to pull up out of his car to drive by his ass.
Hey, Antonio, you think on my sister? That's my walk. That's your business. It's my business. Take that fuck off my sister.
And in Antonio's dying breath, he licks his lips and then dies again. Can't be seen having chapped lips around a hose. Then we cut to his funeral, which is mad empty. Not even his son showed up. Nobody liked this nigga, I guess. And Renee crying like he ain't just beat her ass 5 minutes ago. What did I do? Renee then goes to see Antonio's mother. When after seeing Renee's scars, she said she always feared this would happen to her. Turns out Tony's father was also a cheater and a beater. And Antonio got his bad habits from his daddy. She begs for Renee to leave Antonio, but Renee says she can't leave him because he threatened her. But he was just at his funeral. He dead now. What are you gonna do? Slap you from the grave? Like, that's just ridiculous. Tony's mom then recommends her to at least leave the house while he's still there. And then she proceeds to think about her son's teacher that she spoke to for like 30 seconds. I didn't know you guys had that kind of relationship already. Anyways, we go to the next scene at night to the singer girl appearing to be catcalled by some random homeless dude. Only for him to be Antonio? I thought this man was dead. What the hell he doing back? First time I saw this scene, I thought it was a flashback or something. But nah, he's alive. He's alive. So what was that funeral about? Some Mr. Robot dream sequence or some shit? How is he not dead? I mean, from what I found out later on in the movie, he ain't from Wizards of Waverly Place. So how he came back to life? And the movie never explains this. He's just alive again and homeless now. My personal theory is that he has the same powers of Kenny from South Park, but that's just me. Anyways, he confronts the girl about her not answering his calls, but she ain't having it with his drug problems because he's a junkie now, I guess. He gets mad and is about to smack her, but then she pulls out the blicky on him.
Miko.
He slowly backs away from her and then notices someone he knows in the alleyway.
I know you.
What are you
It's his dealer, and he begging for more compound V, but he got no money. So he offers to do whatever she wants. They walk away together, and we transition to a montage of Renee becoming a stronger woman who don't need no man. We then cut to her packing her bags to move out, and while packing, Renee's friend frantically comes in the room.
Renee, Capone called. We need to go get Antonio now. Get him for what? Like I said, we need to go get Antonio.
And she does one of those things where she don't explain why she has to do it. She just says, there's no time. Like, nah, you gotta explain why I need to save my abusive husband, because I will never be in the mood for that. Renee eventually agrees to...
I'm sorry, the fucking smiling seal got to me.
And as they looking around for him, they pull up to a trap house, and then her friend like, nah, let's just get out of here and call the police. This place ain't safe. But Renee's like,
hold on, give me a sec.
nah, he my husband. Nigga, you leaving him. Both of them go inside, and Renee's friend starts tripping for good reason, saying again, this ain't safe, cause there's literal junkies walking around, and why we doing all this for him? Him! Then Renee says,
Look, I just need to know. I just need to know what he's been up to.
know what? He had a crack house. That's an obvious sign to know what he's been up to. Renee's friend is spitting wisdom while Renee herself is spitting dumbasser. Anyways, they find Tony and he acting like his usual self ever since he died.
Antonio! Damn!
Who the fuck coming in my crib?
He start begging her to come back and Renee just staring at him for a little bit and she just says, let's get out of here. She's seen everything she needed to see. Then why the hell y'all here? What the hell you expected to look like? To him to be the kingpin of the house? They leave and then he chases them and then we transition to a murder scene and it turns out Tony's drug dealer died of an overdose and they suspect her boyfriend of doing it. Now, they haven't even identified her body yet, so I don't know how they know she has a boyfriend. One of the cops walks outside because he keeps complaining about the stink of the body.
Damn! Please get that dead body out of here.
He then sees a group of young African-American men hanging out minding their own business, and then the woman cop sees this and is like,
Man, I bet you $20 I see some drugs to touch.
Yeah.
You know what? Hold it right there.
y'all just
Whoa.
saw these random dudes and automatically assumed they did it? You didn't even question them or yourself. You just went after them without no evidence. Like, damn. This movie's more realistic than I thought. But this one knows karate, so movie logic, I guess he did it. And that's the last we hear or see anything related to that, so what was the point? We cut to Antonio walking to Renee's house, begging some more, but Renee is really done with him this time. He tries to beat her ass again, but she's a strong, independent woman now, so the self-defense training came in clutch. She then tells him she going to church, so if he coming, he can come. He says, yes, I'll go anywhere with you, and enters the car with her, which I don't know how she comfortable with this man being in her car after he literally just tried to knock her out like he was Tyson. They enter the car together, and that's it. That's the end of the movie. That's it.
What?
Yep. But it has one of those, though I'm hopeful, yes I am hopeful as today, and then, so that automatically makes this one of the best movies I've ever watched. Now, what are my thoughts on this movie? I thought it was pretty gosh darn entertaining. Sure, it had its mishaps like having a slow first 20 minutes, but overall, I freaking loved it. And I'm never gonna judge the acting of these types of movies. I think that just comes with the Tubi package. But the writing in these movies always takes a turn in a direction that I'll never predict by the time I'm at the end of the movie. Like, who the hell this guy robbed? But I love movies like this. They're fun to watch, and I bet the people who are making it had fun making it too. Now, I'm not gonna fuck around and say this movie's amazing or anything, up there with the likes of Citizen Kane and Date movie. But if you're looking for something stupid, fun, and entertaining to watch, I recommend this. Cause I think this movie encapsulates what Tubi movies are about. Ridiculous. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I've been gone for God knows.
Oh my fucking god. Dude, I fucking love this guy's videos. They're so funny. I think I'm going to raid someone. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna go lay down. Because my shit hurts. Chat, my shit hurt. Let me see. Huh. I'm going to raid Gwen. I'm gonna raid Gwen. My beautiful fox woman. Whom I love. Oh my god. Hold on. Really good stream. I had a lot of fun. I think I'm gonna come back on Wednesday. But yeah. I'm gonna fucking, put my PC together soon. And we are going to be doing some shit. Doing some never before seen shit. Me and a